When I say words like art, music, poetries, artist, all of these things, what comes into your own mind? You know, what what is that first thought that came into your mind? It can be like, oh, you are talking about creativity or feelings, things like that. These are the thoughts that come into our mind when we say about poets, poetries, art, paintings, creativity, all of this stuff. This thing come into our mind, oh, that you're talking about intuition, that you are talking about feeling, and all of this stuff, right? So we literally divide science and art, and we give more credibility to logic and everything that came across in our life. We split it our left and right brain and became left brain dominant human. I really want to talk about this stuff because as a human, as a like literally from our childhood we are like that. It is no it is like that with us, that from our childhood we are like that. We see things as divided. We see things as divided into science and art. I literally talking about my own self, because from childhood I see everything. I see every stuff in my life like that. If I reading book about fiction or non-fiction, I literally get into this. I literally get this thought into my mind that, oh, this is fiction, then there will be some fantasy and all of this stuff. But I am wrong. A fiction book is also a great book. They are also very great to get life lessons, to learn about characters, all of this stuff. And this is what our colonial education system given us. And we are living our whole life in that framework. Recently I watched this podcast of Ian, like talking about problems that we are facing right now as a left brain dominant human. He talk about problems like everything is judged by numbers, metrics, and productivity, and there is high rates of feelings of emptiness or narrow thinking. So he talk about all of this stuff in this podcast, where he talk about all of this stuff, that he talk about that there is things happening like that as a teenager, as an adult, I literally think about all of this thing and get through all of this thing every day. I see every result when I'm doing something. First thought that came into my mind is that what will be the outcome, what will be the number of metrics that I'm seeing as a result. This is the first thing that came into my mind. So all of this stuff they say, he say about left brain dominant human are facing all of this stuff. And it is very right. But in this video I added my insights that I am observing from many days, like left brain and right brain things. I'm learning about all of this stuff, and as a coincidence, you can say that I also get to know about art and science dividends, and how poetry is an extraordinary language that I get to know about from social media, from reels. And I also see this reel about an ancient temples, where this guy is talking about and showing the temple architecture and showing that art and science is a one thing in our ancient time. And this really struck into my mind to really create a video on this stuff, on this topic, because I really want to explore about science and art. And if this two will gonna be one, then this will be an amazing thing to have in your life, and literally see everything like that, connect them and use it in a different way in anything that you are creating in your life, in anything you are thinking about in your life. So what if I say that your creation and your thinking can become unique or extraordinary compared to any other person by understanding, by literally using your unified mind. Using your unified mind is very important, and you can literally understand this in this video, so be till the end. So let's talk about how our ancient people used it already in their things, like take example of Suchindram temple. This is the image. That statues are made by compiling maths, cosmology, geometry, art, or anatomy. This statue is too deep. This statue is too deep, or if we encode it, and they literally encoded a lot of things when they are creating this statue, because I see everything about them, research all of the things about what it is, what this statue is telling us. And this not just a sculpture, it is also a encoded knowledge that we are getting, but we will not gonna know about it if we don't know about art and science. And we literally can't explore a lot, like we can't go deep in this statue structure about why it is made like this and what is being used here and all of this stuff, because it really deserve its own video. But the one thing that I really want to tell you about this, that they don't want people to only watch a sculpture, but wants to bypass your linear thinking and active whole brain thinking. They literally don't want your linear thinking, they want unified brain thinking. So this sculpture has its own geometry, maths, or poetry inside it. Like in Indian philosophy, there is a concept of universal grammar. So it can be a symbolic model of universal grammar that they want to tell people about. And this is a thought that we are getting from universal grammar, that it could be possible that they want to show, or there is their Indian philosophy that talk about all of this stuff, that this sculpture is showing that thing in a particular, but we don't know it is true or not. But architecture people literally tell us about this, that this sculpture is like that and it is made in that way. So the first row head that you are seeing, they tell us that it is showing Purusa, or that one energy, or that pure consciousness. And this three head row show absolute time, Om light and Om sound. This five head show air, water, fire, wind, and earth. Also show types of number, like there is natural number, whole number, integer, rational, irrational number, all of this stuff. And there is seven heads, so seven levels of existence, like, or musical sequences like saregama pada nisa. And this nine head row, so navrasa, our nine emotions. So you can see in this video that I'm talking about the sculpture, and the ancient people is not only made this sculpture to only see it, but they also, and temples is not only for worship, but it is also encoded with knowledge. Our temples are like that. So here I literally want to talk about this sculpture, because we will literally gonna talk about how this connected with our other things that we will gonna talk about in this video. That's why I'm describing this sculpture to you, about why things are like that in this sculpture, and why they literally made this sculpture in that way, and what they really want to show us. So this concept of this sculpture isn't art or science. This is what happens when a civilization never made a distinction in first place. Okay, so also I want to tell you about how poetry is also an extraordinary language, because I have 3 to 4 thoughts that I have in my mind, and I literally combined all of this thoughts or ideas in this video, because everything is connecting when I am exploring all of this stuff. That's why I really want to talk about all of this stuff. Be patient in this video, because first I really want to tell you about this sculpture, and now I want to tell you about poetry. So poetry, I don't know, you know about this or not, but it is an extraordinary language, so that carry both left brain and right brain thinking. Poems wasn't a beautiful language, it was a cognitive tool. So when a person read it, it break linear thinking process, as taking only meaning of words, as not only taking meaning of words, but it connect meaning with feeling and struck to heart. you know. When you read poems or poetry, you literally don't get linear thinking inside your head. You literally didn't get any meaning as a linear thinking in that manner, you know, when you read some poetry. So it is like that. Poetry is made in that way that combine your left brain with your right brain. So it doesn't give you an exact linear meaning to every words, but it goes from up to down with your heart. It just play with your heart and your brain. So that is an amazing thing that I get to know about poetry. So we don't only understand it, but we also feel it. We see why our scriptures, ancient stories about events, why they all are in a metaphor manner, and why there is something described in a poetry. This is my all time question to my parents, that I really ask them why there is everything in just a metaphor or a poetry form, why all of this stuff in a story form, or why this is why every stories are like that, you know. Because I didn't know about all of this stuff previously, but I right now I know about all of this stuff. So I understand why they created it in that manner, because there is no division between left brain thinking and right brain thinking. Like previously people don't think about like me, that why there is poetry in that. If this is a serious matter, if this is a serious event that happened, then why it is converted into a metaphor or a poetry thing, you know. This is the question of me, like this is the question that I ask my own self. But they literally don't divide left brain with right brain thinking, that we born in this universe, in this era, like that, because we get to know about all of this stuff like that. It is unified, and it is great way of creation, you know. So you can understand and remember it for long time. This is their goal, that they really want people to remember all of this stuff. Because when you really combine your unified mind, when you have your unified mind as left and right brain, you can remember it for long time. It is proven in neuroscience also. So yeah, this is the reason that I think they are creating all of this stuff and converting into story, poetry, or metaphor like that. So also ancient didn't call themselves artist or scientist, they call themselves shilpi, a maker, someone who shapes matter to hold meaning. An industrial revolution needed workers, not makers, you know. That is the change that we are seeing in this world right now. Because we, as a human that is born in this 1920s era, will see everything like that. So don't be a knower and feelers only, but be both, you know. Don't be a knower and feelers only, but know all of this stuff, but and be both. So here is a chart that you can see, where you can see the difference between the knowing and feeling. So knowing is like left brain thing, and feeling is our right brain thing. If we say about language, then for feeling it is an experience. If we talk about map, then it is a territory for feeling. If we talk about concept of fire, then feeling is like heat of fire. If we say about reading about love, in feeling it is about being in love. Knowing in is like science, and feeling is like an art. Because our profession is also divided in that manner, that you can see right now. Modern world say knowing is real, feeling is subjective. Ancient India said feeling is form of knowing, the highest form of knowing, they say this. And neuroscience is now catching up. Antonio Damasio's somatic maker hypothesis show that people with damage to emotional centers of their brain can't make decision, even logical ones also. And feeling isn't the opposite of rational thinking, it's the foundation of it. So you can see from all of this stuff that I talk about, that how unified mind is also very important. How these two, when they combine, they literally heal us, they literally structure us in that manner. That's why I'm creating this video, to tell you that don't divide your logic with your feeling, but have both inside you. Work, choose work that you are doing in your life from your unified mind. um, Create things with your unified mind, you know. So now let's talk about our the unified mind framework that you can use in your creations. Like step 1 is like you can structure first. Here is your here is where your left brain will gonna come. So if you are working on any creative project or writing for any project, or creating your own stuff, try to give it a structure or a system. This is very important. Like grid layout, it's loading the left brain so the right brain can play inside it, you know. And step 2 is our encode feeling into form. Here is your right brain comes. So now write what you have feeling about it, or what you intuitively think for a particular subject within that structure that you can use in your things. Step 3 is integrate creative thinking. Writing about any theories or concept, try to be creative with that. Broke the linear thinking and of any person who will gonna read it, hear it, or see it. It can be a painting, it can be a music, writing, or writing for any professional work, or also try to add diagram of perspective that you understand uniquely from any different people. So if I give you an example of Khalil Gibran quote that I literally remember, that your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. So here you can see that it is also giving us meaning, but it is also connected us with our feelings, right? So this is the thing that I really want you to apply in your own creation also, that be come with unified mind and create things with that source. So there is also a reason behind understanding this framework, like why you watch web series or movies or hear music. The one reason that you love to do all of this stuff, because like you love to do all of this stuff, right? But what if a music is literally made on linear thinking? You know, you will not be hooked at all with it. And music, and all of this stuff, so all of this involve creative thinking pattern, that is mixture of both logic plus emotion. That's why you literally hooked with a movie or with web series, because it hook you, and it is encoded with creativity and emotion. And if it is in the manner of linear thinking, you will not gonna watch it at all. And that is the reason unified mind is very important in your creation. If you are creating anything in your project with your creation, anything like that, your unified mind is very important, because it literally do magic with people mind and with their feeling, you know. That is the main thing that you can get from this video, that please active your left brain with your right brain, because our right brain is literally switching off right now, because there is lot of depression that is increasing within the teenagers, adult. So I recommend you to literally create your own poetries, express your feeling in that poetry form or things like that, or create your creation with unified mind, with encoded with emotion plus logic. We like every day, we literally give so much importance to our logic. We want to see what is the logic in everything, you know. We human are like that. But I tell you, with logic also pick up the feeling, because this is where the magic happen. Feeling is where your subconscious mind path is. You understand your feeling, you literally can change the pattern of your subconscious mind, because subconscious mind connected with your feeling. And that's why people are stuck in their life, because they of their right brain that is connected to your subconscious mind, and your conscious mind is connected with your left brain. But this is the thing, that they can't get up and do all of these changes, because their subconscious mind is so depressed, because they don't allow their feeling to open up, they don't see their feelings at all. And this is the thing that I don't want for anyone. So please tell me in comments what you think about unified mind, what you think about this concept.